unfortunately, today is chillier than the last video. So I don't know if you guys can tell from the camera, but I got a different mount because if you guys remember, if you guys watched the entire video, the last video resulted in me losing my camera in somebody's yard. So that was a little sketchy. That was scary for me. And I had one of those suction cup mounts that works for inside the windshield. And so I ended up getting a suction cup for the Insta360 because why not? And they actually had it on sale. So I was like, well, I guess that's meant to be. So I know some people are like, well, if it's on sale, technically you didn't save any money, you spent money still. But if I was going to buy one anyways, you know, it's still technically saving money. The only thing about having the top down is that when the sun's glaring, you can't really see me. So that's the only thing unfortunate about it. The sun's always beaming when I don't need it to. So started doing some shopping around. I looked for some coilovers, looked for some wheels. I did some shopping on a supercharger. There were some socks or something in the road, weird. Somebody lost their socks. Somebody got the socks knocked out of them or something, or knocked out of their socks. I don't even know how the saying goes, whatever. But yeah, I was looking for superchargers, and there's not that many superchargers. All the Reddits and forums I read about superchargers for the NA Miata from this generation, which is the 1.6 liter, they all say just make your own. Like, go find some parts from different superchargers and make your own, which that's not what I want to do. Technically, I could take it to a shop that specializes in stuff like that, but I don't know. So I did find some turbocharger kit, I can't even say it. Turbocharger kits. That's a Hispanic coming out of me, trying to turbocharger date. Nah. Every once in a while, a Hispanic be trying to come out of me. So if you guys look at the banner on my page, before I changed my name to that Cuban car guy, my name actually was Hispanics Automotive, HSPNX, before I even posted a video. But then I thought about it and I was like, maybe I should find something that's like more specific to me. So I just changed it to that Cuban car guide instead of Hispanics Automotive, because I'm just one person, so it's not a Hispanics, it's one Hispanic. So yeah. Now I've talked, I like, my cousin wants to get a GTR. His cousin has a SRT4 Neon. So technically it could be a group of Hispanics making YouTube videos, but we all have lives, we all have jobs. It's almost impossible to get together and film videos because I live an hour away from everybody. And so it's just easier for me to just film videos for myself. Maybe one day we'll get together and start making YouTube videos, and then I'll just change it to like Cuban car guys. That way it's not too much of a change. I don't know how long down the road it'll be, but right now I have like 70 something subscribers, so it'll be easier to do it when there's less subscribers than when there's like 1,000 subscribers or 5,000 subscribers or whatever the case may be. So that's the only thing I've thought about, the only changes that I possibly see in the future. So going back to the turbocharger kits, I found a few, and technically, I don't know. I really don't want to molest this car. I want to leave this car as pure as it was from the factory with some changes to stability. I don't want to do too much changes to performance or anything like that. I did read somewhere that this particular engine was supposed to be set up like the way they set it up, because they already has a hole in the oil pan for turbochargers. It was initially not supposed to be naturally aspirated. It was initially supposed to be turbocharged, but they never went that direction. That's what I read anyways. I don't know how true that is. I don't know too much of the history of the Miata. Just all I know is that I really like Miatas, and I've always liked Miatas. So I I don't know if I want to change the engine too much. I want to put like sway bar kits, front strut bar, rear sway bar. I also want to, exhaust system just so it sounds better, and then wheels, coilovers. That's really, I just want aesthetics, and that's because I don't want to change the car too much. I don't want to be able. I don't. One day I want to look back at owning this car and say that the car is still true to itself, and maybe if the engine ever goes bad or if it ever starts having problems or something like that, maybe I'll do stuff to it. Maybe I'll swap it out for a LS3 or something like that. But as of right now, the engine is perfect. Transmission is perfect. There's not much I really need to do to the car. So therefore, I don't want to change the car's anything, the DNA of the car too much. So I've looked into the RX-7, like I mentioned. That was gonna be the next car. So I looked into the RX-7, and unfortunately, bad timing for me. All the tariffs are causing the prices of imports to go up. So I think one of the importers that I follow on Instagram was essentially saying that import costs are going to go up 15% because of tariffs. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I want to pay 15% more, so I might try to find a RX-7 that's already in the States. So I've made it to the gym. We'll meet whenever I get out. All done at the gym. Broke a sweat or two. Oh man. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Driving after the gym in a stick shift sucks. My arms are jello, my legs are jello. And I gotta get it together. Get the courage to move. Let's do it. See, the sun right now, it's at a good spot because it's not causing a huge glare in the camera. So that's good. And my glasses turn into sunglasses when the sun's out because they're transition glasses. So yeah, and then I squint the entire time without them. Not worth it. I heard while I was getting out of the gym, I heard something crackle and popping, but I was not even in the car, so I couldn't follow it or nothing. Pretty sure it was an M2 competition or M2 or something like that, because the way it sounded and the way it looked, it didn't look like an M4. It was small. So I'm pretty sure it's cloudy now. There's a little bit of overcast. Once I get to this light here, I'll take the back roads, and we'll be hopefully not stopping a whole lot, because right now there's a bunch of lights, and that's one thing I don't like. Is like that's the worst thing, is the lights, the gym, and the stick shift. Whenever I'm not sore, the lights don't bother me. Whenever I am sore, it's extra things I got to do. So definitely don't like it. Look at it. What's that? 5.0? Sure is. That's so common. That's one thing I'll never be able to get past, the fact that Mustangs are so common and Corvettes now are so common. That's one thing I'll never get over. I don't know why they're so common. Corvettes used to be something, rich people had. Now because all the loans are, 10 years now, up to 10 years now. I think some of them are even up to 12 years now. I forgot I had to get gas. There's no gas in this direction that I want. There is a gas station, but no. I don't know why I don't like this gas station. It's almost like, I don't know. But I forgot I needed gas. I don't know how. So that's another thing about these older cars. You never really know until you can know. Like until that light comes on. And honestly, I've never seen the light come on in this car for telling me I'm low on gas. Never. So I always usually put it when it's a quarter tank. Right now it's a quarter tank. And it's actually a little bit below a quarter. Probably I want to say 3/16 maybe. Um, so I've never seen the light actually come on. So I don't even know if it has one. um, so I guess I'll get gas next time I get out. because this is a 5-speed, I'm pretty sure I've complained about this before, but because it's a 5-speed, the ranges are weird because third gear, let's say third gear is like, if I'm at 30 miles an hour in third gear, it's already like 2,500 RPM. But as soon as I get to the speed limit, in this case, right now the speed limit is 45, so I'll go 50. As soon as I get to the 50, I am already at 4,500 RPMs. So then I have to go into fourth gear, obviously. So here I am going into fourth gear at 4,500 RPMs. Boom. And then 50 is like 3,200 RPM. So that's fourth gear at 3,200 RPMs going the speed limit. And I don't usually go into fifth gear because I typically reserve that for highway speeds or going over 60. And I don't know. I feel like the range is not the best, but obviously it's only 5 gears. This car has 116 horsepower and it tops out like at 120 and maybe 100 miles an hour. It's not a lot. I'm not going to lie. So, you know, you would think a fifth gear would be closer to like 70, 80 when you have to use it. But as soon as you get over 60, you're already wanting to use fifth gear. Because whenever I'm on the highway going like 70, 75, fifth gear feels like third gear because it's the entire time the engine's like 4,500 RPMs, maybe 5,000 RPMs. It's like up there. So it's I don't know. So for anybody that likes LS parts or LS engines or anything aftermarket LS, I'm not paid by nobody. There's BTR right there. Brian Tooley Racing. My neighbor works here. He's one of the designers for the parts. I don't know his exact job title, but he's like third or fourth from the top. So right now I'm in third gear, going 40 miles an hour, and I'm at 4,000, maybe 3,800 RPMs. It's like bouncing in between, depending on if I'm hitting the gas or pressing down on the accelerator, whatever you want to call it, or not. Like right now, 45, I'm not pressing down on the accelerator, and I'm about 3,800 RPMs. So So I got up to about 70 there. I don't know how long it took. Probably like 18,000 seconds. But I got to about 70 there. And at fourth gear, going about 70, I was pushing 4,500 RPMs. And it was just climbing. So typically around 5,000 RPMs, I shift because I don't want to get it too high up there. Typically, I go to about 5,500 RPMs and I quit right there and I shift. Now, like I said in the last video, or maybe a video before that, this car has a red line at 6,500 RPM. So I technically could have gone higher, but I don't want to. So that's one thing about the fifth gear. And that, you know, I'm pretty sure I've looked at so many JDM cars. I know the GTR has a 6-speed, and I know the Supra has a 6-speed, but I can't remember if the RX-7 has a 5-speed or a 6-speed. I can't remember. Now, you know, there's one thing. A lot of people that don't know how to drive stick shift, one of their biggest fears. Now, this is my biggest fear whenever I started driving a stick shift again, because I technically drove a stick shift for about 2 days back when I was like, I want to say 19, something like that. So back when I was like 19, I drove a stick shift for about 2 days. It was my cousin's BMW, and I was terrible at it. It was so bad that he wouldn't let me drive his car again. But then I didn't drive a stick shift all the way till I was 25. So 6 years without driving a stick shift. And the first day I bought this car and I had to drive it home, my biggest concern was money shifts. That was my biggest concern. And stalling. Obviously, even a professional person that drives stick shift can stall every so often. It's just really, honestly, it's like bad luck at this point when you stall. And it's almost like you never even expect it, but it happens. Those are the biggest fears for me, was stalling and money shifts. And a money shift, for anybody that doesn't know, a money shift is when you're like fifth gear, downshifting to fourth gear, but you accidentally downshift into second gear, which is terrible. Your transmission, your engine, everything can start just blah, 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 going crazy, knocking, doing all things that you could not possibly want. So you don't want to ruin your engine and your transmission from a money shift. And that's why people are super scared of it. So what I always told myself, and I don't know if anybody else does the exact same thing, when you're downshifting or when you're upshifting from the left or right to the center, I always let the car go back into neutral first, and then I shift down or up to third or fourth. So those are that's literally what I do. So that the shifts that take me the longest to do because of that are third and fourth. So four from downshifting from fifth and third from upshifting from second, because I'm letting it get to neutral first before I go up or down, just to make sure that I don't do any crazy shifting. Now, a shift from second to fifth is not going to hurt per se, but a shift from fifth to second, it's going to hurt. So there you go. There's your little lesson for the day. I don't know if anybody needed it. And then obviously for me, when I get an RX-7, most likely I'm gonna get a right-hand drive vehicle, and that's gonna be like, a little confusing at first, and I don't know how that's gonna work. This car is right in my behind. Don't you know I'm driving a stick shift? That's the last thing you want to do. All right, I'm pulling in now. So if you guys enjoyed this video, hopefully it wasn't boring. I'm trying to make different content. I know I'm seeming like it's the same thing over and over again, but I'm trying to make different content. So if you guys made it this far, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything that I put out in the future. As always, peace.